my tip top. And if I hit the switch, I can make the ass drop.
Welcome to N.W.A.
And we are here with the one and only, and the greatest, and always the best. And he is the one with the sound, the beats with the bass. His name is
Bass Beef.
All right.
And this is the dynamic, the stupendous, the tremendous, the everlasting, the boombastic. I can't keep saying no words. His name is
the Dizz-E. Oh, with a capital E that makes you dizzy.
I'm dancing this song.
Go bass, 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 go bass. Oh yeah, bass, oh yeah, bass, oh yeah, bass. Here we go now, here we go now, yeah, yeah, yeah. Here we go now, here we go now, yeah, yeah.
I think it was okay. I think it was
Serious?
I think anything more than 20 seconds.
Well, we're back
be-
down. Calm
you
down.
gotta-
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome.
And boys and girls of all ages. Right. Welcome,
right.
welcome
to another episode
of In the Vibe. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for being here, supporting us. And don't forget to subscribe. Everybody say it after me. Subscribe. Very good. Okay. Our next lesson is don't forget to ring the bell. The ding ding. And also, so exciting.
Yes.
You can follow us on
Twitter,
Instagram,
TikTok.
and you can even follow us on our other station. You know what it's called, right?
It's called
Critical Opinion.
Yeah.
Jeez, he forgot. He's asking
But
me. What do you know? What do you think?
We
You know,
always do
all this time, right? Anyway, so we hope you are following us on all of our stations and everywhere we are.
Yeah,
follow us,
true.
and don't forget to press the likes.
Always press the
Likes. Okay. The thumbs up.
The thumbs up, always.
Okay, and so leave your comments down below. Let us know what you want to hear, what you want to see, what you want to hear us say. Hey, do you want to hear him? Do you like me? Do you like him? It's okay, right?
Guys, is it me or is Dizz-E a little bit hype up today?
Yes, I am.
This is like
Our
hype up.
release, man, he did really good.
Yes.
You know what? It was like, wow. Like, I'm just looking at it right now here on our Spotify,
yeah.
right? Look at this, man. In the first week, we got over 5,595 streams.
Ooh, guys,
right?
thank you so much,
Right?
guys.
It's our biggest selling song today, this week. Okay. Anyways, and you guys are still pushing our other songs. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
guys so much.
Wow, wow! You guys really like us.
We really tried with this song, you know.
Wow.
Even with my man, we were like, you know, going
Ooh.
back and forth to some parts, but we just wanted it to sound kind of nostalgic, but kind of reflecting,
You know,
So
wait until the video comes out.
Yeah,
y'all.
the video.
Wait until the
that's
video
another
comes
story,
out. That's
yes.
gonna be like, ooh, it's gonna blow your mind.
But I really want to give kudos to Dizz on his rap. I mean, some of you guys, I know you heard it. Wasn't he smoking?
Yes,
Wasn't he smoking on his
Yes, I was. I
rap?
was smoking when I was rapping. No. How do you know I was smoking? Oh, damn it! Oh, hey, who told them? What's going on? Somebody's giving them my secrets. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
No, never touch this stuff. Never smoke. Never, ever. Hey, you know what? That people have always asked me this. Let me ask you this question. Have you ever smoked pot?
No,
Have you ever
you know.
touched the Mary Jane? Have you ever gone to the ride, chased the dragon? Have you ever tilt the green for the machine?
No, you know what? I never smoked anything, but the only time I smoked was with you. When you said the shisha was okay.
Yeah, shisha's fine.
Man,
That's not a drug.
I don't know what was inside that, man. I don't know what was inside that.
Shisha's just a flavor. The flavor.
I don't know what was inside, man. I felt a little bit woozy after that.
You feel woozy after Coke. Coca-Cola, that is.
Yeah, make sure you say it right. Make sure you say it right.
Pepsi. Soft drink, okay? He has one of those. He's like, oh man, this is just too much sugar in this thing, right?
God.
So no. Shisha is not a drug. It's not anything. It's just like a shisha. You all know what a shisha is, right? Or the hookah, right? Not a hooker, a hookah. Okay, so
are we going up or down?
I have no idea. We're going in this direction, that direction, down direction, up direction, sideways. Okay, anyway, let's go. So this week's been interesting. A sad moment, right? Yeah. I just found out from you today. Right?
Yeah.
I feel bad. I didn't check the news yesterday, but today I just found out from.
Send our condolences to the rapper Coolio family and pay our respects to him. He was one of the best rappers in my lifetime, in the 90s. I mean, of course, you know him from hit songs like Gangsta's Paradise, which he
and
won a Grammy.
Slide, slippy slide, we'll all go down to the do or die.
Fantastic Voyage.
Let's roll along, right? Exactly. So, anyway, so he just passed away, right? Yesterday. I was shocked. I was very shocked.
From what I've heard from the sources, that he was found in his friend's place, flat on the floor. That, but when the paramedics came,
he was already young.
Yeah, 59, man. From a heart attack, due to a heart attack. Wow. So many of you out there, just make sure you know the symptoms. Usually symptoms it could be weeks or months before you would have a heart attack. Usually you would feel chest pain, discomfort, numbness on the left side, on the right side, back pain. I know you probably say, well, I feel that all the time, but you just never know, though. You just never know.
Does it count when you're working out?
All I know is I think we should just take care of ourselves, monitor ourselves. That's the main point. So,
well, at least if something happens, my medic's here.
Yeah, exactly. We definitely help.
Anyways, so sad news. We wish his family, his friends, everyone condolences. Okay, and it's a hard thing to go through, but hey.
One of the greatest rappers. Yeah, he's actually in my top 10. He influenced
a lot of other rappers, right? And so a lot of people did parodies of his videos, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But he was cool.
Yeah, I mean, he's actually in probably, I would say, my top 10 because in the 90s, it was really, powerful that time. And he was one of the only few rappers, West Coast rappers, that was not in death row.
Yeah. But, didn't have any conflicts with anybody.
Can you believe that?
Right? No beefs.
Can you believe that? He was cool with Tupac. Yeah. He was cool with
everybody, right? Yeah, and so he could go to New York, no problem.
Right.
He'd go to Texas, no problem. He could go to Louisiana, the deep South, dirty South. Okay, and he could anywhere, and he was liked by everyone.
Yeah.
Exactly. He didn't have no beefs. He didn't diss anybody. He was well respected among the hip hop community, right? And other rappers, right? Everybody sent out messages, right? And they're giving their condolences in regards to him, right? So
your music is timeless. We'll respect you, and we'll always be with you, Julio.
Yeah.
So next is did you hear about EPMD? Rock?
Yeah, I read that somewhere that actually on the source, right? That the people that had murdered him, it was a father and son, and so they've been officially charged with the murder, robbery, and death of EPMD. Right.
So it was apparently a 17-year-old son, father, and 17-year-old son, both charged. They were both charged with one count of murder.
Yeah. The son was only 17 years old.
My gosh,
right?
Man. Was it? Right. Now I don't want to put blame on EPMD, but he was, this Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, from what I heard, was in a lower economic side of the city and the neighborhood, and it was in a bad neighborhood, and he was blinging, showing his jewelry. Was it his fault in a way, kind of?
Not really, because then you're sort of saying, okay, you blame one person, right? And he was enjoying his the wealth that he had created for himself. I mean, you can't say, okay, because that's just I understand. I do say you shouldn't flash things, and you're sort of putting yourself on a billboard and attracting the wrong kind of people, right? But at the same time, you can't blame somebody for enjoying their lifestyle, right? Yeah. And he earned it.
He did,
right? So somebody decided they didn't they didn't want to work for the money. They didn't want to work for their own wealth. Try to steal it off somebody else, right? And so, like, you know, it's a sad thing, right? But it should deter other rappers, young rappers that think that they can flash their jewelry. You're just bringing attention to yourself, right? But it's a sad thing it happened. It shouldn't happen. Yeah. Okay. He worked hard for it. He got his, and he was just happy to be wearing it. Probably just for self-satisfaction.
Maybe for himself, yeah.
Right.
Is it? Are rappers an endangered species? Are we in danger now? Because it seems like more and more rappers are getting shot, killed, murdered. You know, and young rappers, these are like incredible, like 20 years old, 30 years old. 20.
But still, like, you know, like again, you know, there shouldn't be a kind of like a fear of wearing what you want to wear and then be afraid that you're going to get killed for it because you earned it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, it's like, you know, I don't know if you remember this. Do you remember way back in the 90s and the early 80s? Kids used to beat other kids up in school to take away their like Nikes or their Adidas or their at that time North Stars and all that. Remember like Adidas when Nike became really popular? If you had a new pair of Nikes, somebody would walk up on you, rush up on you, and you know, and from behind and knock you to the ground. Steal shoes. They used to steal shoes.
Yeah, they would take shoes. Right? They would take the jackets.
And if you're wearing a jersey, right, or a jacket, or even a baseball cap, that's what it used to be about. Right, and now it's just moved up the same thing. Only it's moved up into
shooting,
like jewelry and watches and rings, right? You know, like you know, look at Snoop. You don't see Snoop wearing like big thick jewelry around his neck, right? And that's everything true. Like that. You don't see Dr. Dre ever.
That's true.
Eazy-E, what's his name? Dr. Dre or Ice Cube. You don't see, you never see them.
Wear like normal clothes.
They never saw them wearing the big jewelry, the chains and things like this, right? And there's like the older rappers, a lot of them never did that, right? They put their money in other things that were, you know, the equity they were going to build up. A lot of these young people wear their bank around their neck.
That's a.
You know what I mean? It's like, you know that, and so take lessons from the older rappers, okay?
I agree.
Academic. Learn from them. Okay. And so, anyways, but this is what I'm talking about. Is things like this just are crazy, right? And but I'm glad they caught the killers, right? And that they will now be charged, to pay for their price. You do the crime, you got to do the time.
That's right. That's
and this is going to be like lifetime prison for time for them.
For a chain. You know.
Is it worth it?
Yeah.
Right? Like a chain? You lose your freedom for a chain? Right?
It's a sad.
You know what? Here's what I don't get. Okay. Now here's something I want you to really think of. Okay? This goes, no offense to African Americans, but you know, you African American like rappers, people were trying to get out of chains. You're trying to put chains on yourself.
That's a good point, but
right? Think about that, right? Like, you know, like
I would never do it. I would never I don't know what I'm trying to show. I'm just showing you I got bling bling, but like you said, we got to be smarter investors, you know, like
you know why? Here's something you might not know. This might be something new to everybody out there. You know why African Americans used to wear earrings?
No, I didn't.
Huh?
No.
They used to wear like hoops. It was to represent slavery, like how they used to be in chains, and that it used to be so they were, and also so because they never did that back in their motherland. Never wore, and they only did that when they came there. They would put them in there, and they would hook the chain up so that you couldn't run, and so that was sort of symbolism for slavery and what they had to go through.
Yeah, you know,
the hardship. So when other people started doing that, they didn't understand why you know, people are wearing chains or like these hoops, right? And they represented the chains that the people were slaves were in.
Yeah, we got to learn from our history.
Because when I found out, because I had hoops, right? And then my granddad of all people told me what that was. And I had, what the, man? Seriously? Right? Yeah. So Pops really knew what he was talking about, right? And then I asked Tony, a friend of mine, who's from New York, and so I said, what are these, like, does that offend you? He goes, not really, because it's just fashion. But I told him what my granddad, he goes, yeah, that's true.
Okay.
And he said that's how it started, right? Yeah. And so I was like, oh wow, I had no idea.
This just shows you got to learn from your history, so we're not doomed to repeat it. So.
Yeah. So, but so jewelry, like I don't understand why you want to wear that much gold and diamonds, and even on your mouth. Some of these young guys are wearing them on their grills. So I don't take that money. Put it in an equity, okay? Something that's going to make you rich in the future. Prepare for your future, because music industry goes up and down. One minute you're high, 1 minute you're at the top of the castle, you're in the top of the hill looking down, and the next minute you're looking up going, I used to be up there.
Money is fleeting, so you gotta be careful.
You gotta make sure you put your money, young bloods, you have to put your money into something that's going to build you long-term generational wealth.
That's right.
Right? Not like temporary. Okay? Temporary satisfaction. Right? It happens, gone. Your money's gone. Right? It's easy to spend $1,000, $10,000 when you're making money like that and taking your posse out, hanging out with your crew.
In these days.
Right? Yeah. Nah, man. Like, none of those people are ever going to do anything for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
And Snoop said it the best. He has friends, regular friends.
Yeah.
But these guys come over for barbecue. They don't ask him for money. They don't ask him for a job, right? Those are his friends, right? Those are the guys he hangs around. They play video games. They never ask him for anything. They never ask for a job. They never ask him for money. They just come and hang out with him.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all.
Right?
That's all you need.
That's all you need. If you got people hanging around you because of money and because of your wealth and because of your fame, they're no better than what we call women gold diggers, right? Those men, the guys that hang around with you, are pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And you're not even getting sex from them. Well, I don't know if you are, but you're not. Like, no, there's nothing else from them. You're not getting anything back for your investment from that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So think about that for a moment, right?
Exactly.
So, I mean, you guys are a lot intelligent. You guys, there's a lot of young guys out there, like, really talented. But put your money to proper use.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Create generational wealth, not just for you, but for your grandchildren, for your children, for your grandchildren, so they don't have to start off where you started off.
Yeah.
Right?
So I mean, it's really important that you guys just be careful out there. Conserve, save your money. Don't just spend it thriftily, thrifty ways. Yeah. But I think people will understand.
Yeah. So, you know what? One other thing before we move on to this week's. Okay.
Yeah.
You know who hit the Millions Club on Spotify? Who got over millions? Billions Club. Right. This week, Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg's Still Dre.
Oh, I can still listen to that. I'll never get tired of that.
Hits.
That's good.
On Spotify, they reached the billion stream. That's
ultimate, man. That's ultimate.
Billion streams. Like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Right? We got 5,000.
Someday.
500.
Someday.
Right? So it's up to you people to put us in that club.
We might get a billion.
Get us into the 100,000 club.
Yes.
50,000. It's okay.
But kudos to Dre and Snoop Dogg. You got fans.
Congratulations, man. And Dr. Dre, man, and Snoop Dogg. They're my top. They're my top.
Yeah.
5. Like,
always classic.
Of my top 5, right? Yeah. Especially Snoop and Dre, man. These guys are like, and then Ice Cube. Ice Cube's my number 1.
I understand.
Ice Cube,
I understand. I can't
Snoop,
deny.
Dre.
I can't deny.
Right? Nas.
Yeah, Nas
right?
is up there too.
And then LL Cool J.
LL Cool J is up there.
Right?
Yep.
So,
I mean, it's just.
These are my top 5.
Yeah. Excellent.
So Anyway, so this week,
guys.
right? We're gonna keep saying this week, or we're gonna actually say who we're gonna talk about.
We're gonna talk about
this week. We are going to talk about
this rap group. This popular rap group started from the '80s, moved on to the '90s, and they're
still rocking it.
Yeah,
right. And they're still in business.
Yes, they are. They are. Containing 3 people, but 2 main rappers is Erick Sermon and Parrish Smith. This group is called EPMD. That's right.
Eric Parrish making dollars.
Yes.
Right? That's what it's called. That's what it is, right? Because that's
exactly
what they were in, the business of making money.
Yes.
Right? So, yeah, so these guys were young, started in the 80s, and then moved along, like you said, into the early 90s and even into the 2000s. And these guys didn't just become like artists. They also became like producers, managers, and they
had this tree of people following them.
They had a whole group, a whole bunch of other musicians that they brought up and raised, and took them under their wing and promoted them and had them perform, go on tour with them, right? And so we'll talk more about that as we go along. So
on the surface, the sample-reliant productions and monotone rapping styles of Erick Sermon and Parrish Smith had little to recommend them, but the duo's recordings as EPMD were among the best in hip-hop's underground during the late 80s and early 90s.
Yeah, they originally met in high school in Brentwood, right?
Yeah, Brentwood.
What was it? Brentwood in...
I think it was Brentwood.
Long Island.
I think
Long Island, yes. Long Island, right? So that's where they met, and they would freestyle in that lunchtime and in between with classes. They would sit in one spot at their school, and the other students would walk by and they would freestyle. Yeah. And that's when they sort of realized, wow, they both have a good style. They blend together, right? Yeah. And thus they decided to call themselves EPMD, right? And so that was where it started. That's how it all started, right? Yeah. It's got to start somewhere. So, so this really worked over a course of 4 albums, okay, from the 1988 classic "Strictly Business," right, and to 1992, "Business Never Personal," right? Yeah. They should now do "Still in Business" because all their albums are about business, right? So a closer look, however, would reveal that they actually were very talented and their lyrics were very deep, and they could really pinpoint what they wanted, the message they wanted to send. They never made it onto the commercial radio play, right? But they made it big on the underground, and they still reached number 10 and number 4, number 5 on their single, with their single hits from their albums, right? And so, which was not expected, because nobody thought they would ever go. And they even wrote a song about crossover.
Yes, they did. That's it. Yeah. So, I mean, these were like big, huge guys. First of all, they weren't like the sexy LL Cool J's or so on. They kind of emulated more of a Run DMC type of.
Well, that was their mentors.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So, even what's his name? Run says that when DM says that when he was driving along and he heard them, he was like, wow, that beat, and they're just so smooth.
Yeah, they are.
Then the thing about, if you listen to their lyrics, it's not like how the other guys are aggressive rappers. They're just smooth. It's like they're talking.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than rapping, like singing. Yeah. They're sort of like it's a poetic talking.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? And I was just like, I never heard that before until them. And then I went, wow, this is going to really kick off well. Right? And they were doing something different, unusual. Right? And even sometimes, Erick Sermon said he could rap fast, right? However, because he had that lisp, he didn't rap fast, so he rapped slowly, so it could be very clearly. He wanted the message to be clear and understood.
He still vibed, it was so great. So they were making hip hop classics, including "It's My Thing," "You Got to Chill," "Get the Bozak," "Strictly Business," and "Rampage." Man, some of these hits was vibing. You know what? We gotta play a couple of these hits so let people know.
Okay, well, why don't we play "It's My Thing"?
Yes.
Okay, first, and then "You Got to Chill."
All right.
Okay?
So
So
let's
but
go.
bing.
Out there, you better stand clear. EPMD is a world premiere.
But you should keep quiet while the MC rap. But if you're tired, then go take a nap. Stay awake and watch.
Wow, I mean these hits are just
See
banging.
what I mean? These guys can just rap. It's like they're just telling you a story.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And talking
and that's
over music.
the point.
And
That's
the music is like bizarre.
It is.
And it wasn't, you know what? They were the first East Coast that were sort of a combination of West Coast, East Coast
That's true.
mix.
That's
and
true.
so they were sort of respected on both ends
That's
of the
true.
coast.
Which was so rare.
Yeah, especially at that time.
Yeah,
right? With the East Coast, West Coast battle, right? And so these guys came along and they were even dressing a bit like the West Coast rappers.
I remember Parrish Smith was really close with Tupac, and Erick Sermon was close with Biggie on that side. So, and actually Erick Sermon started later on wrote music for Def Jam and so on. I mean the connection is just endless with them. So through EPMD's hardcore style influence, the urban-orientated gangsta 90s, Erick Sermon, a.k.a. E.E., born November 25th, 1968, and Parrish Smith, a.k.a. P.M.D. Don't sound like me. Born
PMD, okay?
Born May 13, 1968, were both raised in the Long Island suburb of Brentwood.
Yeah.
They moved into rap separately with Smith DJing for Rock Squad on a single for the Tommy Boy label.
Yeah. And actually, their first DJ was the protege.
That's right.
Of
Jam Master J.
DJ
Jam Master
Yeah,
J.
because they didn't have a DJ, and he said, like, you know, you can't do shows because you guys just look silly, goofy, just rapping the music.
And they're right.
You need a DJ
That's
in the
right.
background to do the mixing and scratching. And so then he said, if you like him, great. If you don't, like, that's okay.
Yeah.
Right? You can continue doing your silly looking silly on the stage.
Yeah.
Right? And then when he came on, it changed everything. That took them to a whole different level. This guy he just won the world DJ championship.
He can DJ with anything.
Right?
Maybe too much.
Yeah. There was times when he did things, he scratched a record with,
He said his member. He said his member.
His family member. Okay? So the junior of the family. Right? Anyways. So this is kind of, this guy could do, he was using like shoes to scratch, he was using fingers, he was taking his clothes off and scratching.
Amazing.
And so it was like, it was a new act for them, right?
Amazing.
And this really built up them, and plus he could really make some beats.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? They needed this.
It just built this dynamic duo. So after coming together in 1987, at which time they called themselves EPMD, short for Eric, Parrish, Making Dollars, they recorded their debut, It's My Thing, in 3 hours, only 3 hours.
Yeah.
And the single was later licensed to Chris Salas, if I say this name
Chris
correct.
Salas.
And EPMD signed to Sleeping Bag Fresh Records for the debut album Strictly Business. So propelled by several strong singles, including You Gots to Chill.
You just heard both those already.
That's right. And the album eventually went gold, as did 1989's follow-up Unfinished Business.
Yeah.
Signed to Def Jam by the beginning of the 1990s, EPMD returned in 1990 with Business as Usual and
Business Never Personal.
That's right. 2 years later.
And 2 years later.
That's right.
These guys were just dropping albums. Do you know that when they first did the first one, Strictly Business, right? People thought, okay, you're lucky. You just got lucky. You got lucky. Everybody was doing like saying, you know, you guys got lucky. Okay, because they got kind of like stumped as well because they really didn't. They sort of went dry themselves. They admit. Erick Sermon admits. He goes. They were such a shock that they sort of like didn't know what to do next, right?
Yeah.
Until people started talking about them, right? And then they started, saying, "Oh, there's a one-time wonder. There's those one-time wonder. They released one album, and that was it. And that sort of pushed them.
Yeah.
And they came back hard.
But they proved their message.
Right? They came with Unfinished Business, and they just proved everybody wrong.
Yeah.
They didn't just put another gold, they went gold album.
Yeah.
Then they put the Business as Usual went as gold album, and then Business Never Personal went gold.
Yeah.
This is like within a very short period of time, 4 albums that went gold.
It's just amazing. I mean,
right?
These guys were for real.
After they did the second one, people went, these guys are real.
These guys are legit.
These guys are, because they they put down, they pointed back at you like you talking about us, and then you know. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, they came back and they went back at everybody, and you know the music business, the producers, the A&R guys, the record labels that didn't want to put them in the mainstream, right? Later, those were the same people that were paying their bills.
Yeah, exactly.
Writing their checks, right? So this, it happens, man. You know, that's why it's important for us that we didn't want to just release one album and that was it. Now our second album is out, and we're doing the singles on the second album.
We're gonna continue,
and then we're gonna do third, fourth, fifth. I don't know, maybe 6, 7 albums, right? And we'll continue as long as we can. Yeah, exactly. Even if I'm in a wheelchair, I'm gonna get that boy.
We could make a hit. We could make a hit from that.
Right? So, then we call the 2 old boys. Anyways,
I can't hold my back.
So everything changed by 1992, right? They presided over an extended family debut, the Hit Squad, right? And this consisted of other rappers, because this is when they started bringing on new rappers and really developed their business, and they wanted to expand. Just like Run DMC did, right? So they brought in Redman, K-Solo, and Das-E-Effect, right? Das-E-Effect. Oh man, I love these guys. And Redman, they just pulled him out of a crowd. He was like in the middle of a thing, and he was like rapping to them, and they just said, "You come on up," and he came on stage. And 1 minute he's like watching him, next minute he's on stage, and he's like, "I can't believe I'm rapping I can't believe I'm rapping with EPMD," right? And then and they go, "Okay, go ahead, son, kick it." And then he just went off, freestyle. But the crowd was like, "What the hell? Wait a minute, is this like a joke? Like, is this guy like for real? Like he was just with us here. He was just standing like right there. Now he's on stage with EPMD, right? And he's rapping. This guy's like good." And so he got a mixed sort of reaction from everybody, because he was a local boy with a big group. Right? So even he couldn't believe that he was on stage rapping with the guys that he admired. Right?
What I love about the Hit Squad with these 3 rappers is that they all rap differently, and that's what you love. You know, diversity in the hip hop, you know, always. So it's really good.
However, you know, all good things sometimes come to an end, right? So the duo split about a year later, right? And however, prompting solo careers, they didn't stop. They individually continued to have the same level of success. Okay, Sermon debuted in 1993 with No Pressure, and Smith made his own statement on 1994's Shady Business. So the duo then reformed back into EPMD, right, in 1997, recording the strong comeback LP named Back in Business.
I have to say something, because
I'm telling them they should do like this is we're still doing business.
No, I heard that when they broke up, it was because of something due to, they're saying that Eric robbed Parrish.
Because what happened was Parrish came home after being at the studio recording. He came home and he opened the garage door, and a couple people ran up on him and tied him up and duct taped him, and however they got caught, and because the alarm went off in his house, and so because the alarm went off, they got scared, ran away. And luckily nothing happened to him, right? And later the police arrested the guys, and they claimed that Erick Sermon had paid them $5,000 each to rob him, right? And so they arrested. The police called. They called Parrish and said, you know, this is what happened. This is the story. Here's the statement signed by the 2 guys. And they claimed that Erick Sermon paid them $5,000 each to rob you.
But why would he do that?
Right? No, and then Erick Sermon was like, "No, I didn't do that." And there was no proof.
So it seems like there was some inner beef, because Parrish was when they were earning their money from hip hop,
Yeah.
that Parrish was, really smart with his money.
And like what we were talking about earlier,
right.
investing his money into property because he had his dad helping him.
Right.
Right. His dad was guiding him like financially, telling him like invest in projects. Right, where like low-income housing, so people can afford to live. Invest in some property. Put some shares into stocks and stuff.
Yeah.
And so he was doing that, whereas Erick Sermon was a ladies' man.
Yeah,
he was a ladies' man. He loved his women, and he loved going out. He loved partying.
Big man with green eyes.
And he was doing what he wanted to do with his money. Nobody was holding a gun to him, right? And he wasn't jealous because, but the rumors came from their team, their people that were working with around them, right? And that always happens.
Yes.
It's the people in the background that start whispering things in people's ears.
How come Parrish got that money?
How come Parrish has a Mercedes and you're driving a Jeep?
Right. Yeah.
Right. Well, the difference between there is what style, right? Eric loved Jeeps. Right, he liked the Jeeps.
Right.
He didn't like the Mercedes or anything because a lot of rappers at that time had Jeeps.
Yeah.
Right, and so he did what other rappers did, bought a Jeep. Eric or Parrish bought a Mercedes.
Mercedes-Benz,
Again, investment.
Yeah.
Right, he was looking for the long term, something that will continue to build value, whereas Eric was living for the moment.
Yeah. So basically, Eric's homeboys were just saying, hey, it's not fair. So maybe they did it on his own without Eric's knowledge.
Yeah.
But
and you got to remember, there was another thing that Erick Sermon wasn't doing that Parrish was doing, right? Eric was just producing beats and writing lyrics and writing the music and for the other guys, and so he was getting a percentage for production.
Right.
And Parrish was actually managing
Groups.
the other groups.
Other
groups. He was their manager. He opened up a management company. He set up a management company, and he was getting 20%, as a fee from the artists, right? So, which is quite high actually.
Yeah.
But he was making. So they were both making money, right? But they were making it different ways. Now Parrish was making it through managing the crews, and Erick Sermon was making money by creating beats for them.
Yeah.
Right, and writing lyrics and working on that. So he had the music side, and Parrish had the business side.
Yeah, exactly. So this is kind of like just for you guys out there probably wondering where was all this beef coming from? Why they didn't talk for years and they came back. So after their comeback album, Back in Business, Out of Business followed in 1999, but the rappers continued pursuing their own projects through the late 90s and early 2000s. Both released solo albums, and Sermon partnered with Redman and Keith Murray as part of the Def Squad supergroup. Nevertheless, they also found the time to continue performing together as EPMD, and 2008 saw them returning to the studio for We Mean Business.
Yeah.
Now, I have to talk about this. One of the best songs I've ever heard with Erick Sermon, it's probably his biggest hit, was Music with Marvin Gaye.
Oh yeah.
Just like music. And I don't know if you know. First of all, from what he said.
I know.
From what he said, that he a friend of his had the a cappella version of Marvin Gaye's Music song, and he just decided to put it in his bass beats, and it just flowed. He said it flowed so beautifully. And that was it.
That was huge. That was huge.
I guess you don't know about this, but I was a DJ when I was a medical student here in Czech Republic. And what the discotheques would tell me was that I had to play 4 Czech songs, then I could play hip hop music. But they had to choose the music. And I was really against that because I thought they didn't really know hip hop music. So
but it's still though.
So one song I always played was Erick Sermon's, and I promise you, once that song touched the dance floor, people who never heard hip hop before, they would start dancing to that. So I mean, it was just such a powerful song, even to this day.
Yeah,
so,
it still is.
Yeah, it's a great song. So for those of you out there, try to listen to that one. just like music is great with Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, and so that's pretty much it for these two guys, right? EPMD made a huge difference in the music industry. They're legends, and they're still legends, and they're still working on music. They're still rapping. They're still performing. Right, so if they're in your neighborhood or they come out somewhere, go see them, go watch them, support them, right?
Yeah.
And go listen to their music, man. Yeah. Go stream their music on Spotify and all the other music platforms, right? And put them in the billion stream.
Exactly.
So these guys
are the pioneers of hip hop.
Pioneers, right? So these are the guys. Like, they're just, if you haven't heard any of their music, go listen.
Indeed.
Go check out these guys. Okay,
exactly.
You can check them on YouTube. Yeah, they got videos out there, right?
Yeah,
and you just have to listen to these guys.
Definitely.
They're very different than all the other rappers.
Yeah, exactly,
right? And all rappers actually are very different from each other.
Yeah,
right.
But
that's what makes everybody unique, right?
Exactly.
So, wow, that was a
good one.
Yeah, I like them.
EPMD.
Go check them out, right? And so
respects to you. So, man, it's that time. It's that time. It's that time.
It's that time.
It's that time.
It's that time.
It's that time for
the hit list.
Bang,
Welcome back, amigos.
Right off the back, I need y'all to flex. All of this stunting look good for my ex. All of these zeros look good on my
People said I sound like Buck. They had the rabbit man fucked up. They dropped me off, they cut my nuts, and I was down bad on my luck.
Man, they typing on Twitter. I'm in it bit with D-Rock and my little one. Elevator to his floated.
The other day he held the door and she was walking out. She smiling like you a gentleman. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm tired of the fighting. Look out the window, what do I see? A couple yachts, they got some thoughts that try to lost. You piss me off, let them pussy get off. Me versus me. I'm stuck between being still. Really stood on 10, you better not question if I'm.
It seem like every Friday at the 8, he flex crustacean menus, he like the date.
I got the hole for the fly to my spot. Then I let her leave in the middle of the day. From the block to the rocks to the Glock to the nigga on top. Let them have
All right. We are back.
Man,
Man, they keep getting better and better, and
our time will come.
There's, I'm not a big fan of some of the stuff, but it still is what's playing on the radio.
Our time will come. We will come.
Okay, calm down.
We're doing it.
Calm down. We're there. Yeah, we're gonna calm down. Wow, you must be kidding me. We're gonna make it. You're gonna help us. You are all going to help us get there.
That's right.
We all know we're gonna go up and down, sideways, all the way around. You never know where we're gonna be and what we're gonna do.
That's right.
Okay, every song is a surprise, even to us.
Exactly, we're gonna do it.
You gotta listen to this. Listen, thank you
guys
for joining us, okay, and
so
putting
much.
up with our craziness, okay. But we love you guys, and we hope that you'll continue coming back every week, okay, and for our next episode. But in the meantime, and in between times, subscribe, okay, and hit that like button, or hit the bell for the notification, so it notifies you every time we put out new content on this channel and any other channel.
And add your comments.
Add your comments. Throw them down, like right down there. Exactly. Follow us on all the social media sites. We're there. Just look for us. Yeah. We're there, right there. We're your neighbors.
Everywhere.
In your social media sites.
Everywhere,
dude. Okay. Anyways, so stay safe. Stay sunny, and peace, love, and respect.
In the vibe.